Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? Thought I'd change the scenery a little bit and shoot from a little different location here in Carlsbad. Actually, a little bit earlier in the evening too, so I appreciate you joining. Of course, my name is Kent, and I talk about the EOS blockchain every single night. So today we're 31 days from the EOS announcement, as far as what EOS is going to do, the big announcement that we've all been waiting for. There's actually a website counting it down. I'll put a link below to the website that's counting down the number of days until EOS makes their big announcement. But as I promised last night, I want to talk a little bit about what that announcement will be or is going to be. And I think the way to approach this is not to speculate about what they're going to do, but speculate about what the problems are with EOS. What they need to solve. The problems they need to solve will tell you what the solutions are, and the solutions will be what the announcement's going to be. So whatever it is that EOS needs to do to be better, you can figure that's going to be in the mix for the announcement. So we all know, it's pretty well documented what the problems with EOS or blockchain in general is. And one of the biggest problems is gaining users. I mean, right now, the EOS blockchain has a very limited number of users for the potential. So you can figure that this announcement is going to have something to do with onboarding a lot of users. The second thing the blockchain suffers from is it suffers from ease of use. I mean, Dan said this, and I think it was a very good quote. Dan says that users don't read code, they trust interface and marketing. So when a user sees a 52-digit private key or public key or whatever it is that you use, they're going to run like scared rabbits. Nobody wants to see that private key, public key thing. Nobody wants to understand it. Nobody wants to figure it out. To somebody that's using blockchain, that's like throwing cold water on people. They'll run away. They're going to run away because there's no way people will use that. And we found that out already with our challenge application. Of course, we're trying to make an application that is easier for people to interface with, because the ease of interface gets you more people using it. The more people using it, of course, the more mainstream you can become. And that's one of the issues with EOS is they need mainstream. They need to be more mainstream. They need to have more people know about it. And that's going to create an incredible opportunity or credible opportunity for EOS to grow if people start to understand it and how it works. And see, I actually remember Brendan Bloomer saying this, that the banking system knows about the blockchain, they just don't quite understand the blockchain. They're still trying to figure it out how to wrap their minds around it. And that's one of the issues with EOS right now, is the fact that we haven't gotten enough users. We don't have an interface for people to use to come aboard. Nobody wants to use a private key or a public key. Nobody wants to be responsible for those private and public keys in this environment. So there's got to be a better interface. There's got to be a better user interface for people to come aboard, to get marketing, and this is another thing that Dan's talked about is marketing. EOS will have marketing like none other. So you've got user interface and marketing. And I think the other thing you got to have is you got to have it be a little bit of fun. You got to have people want to join, and also have a way for people to join. Not only join, but a way for people to have some social layer in this whole experience. So what I think the new announcements are going to be is it's going to be a better user interface, an easier user interface without the public and private key, something with a social layer, and then something that gains users by an incredible marketing plan. And Dan said that. Dan says we're going to have an incredible marketing plan. So this could possibly be some sort of an agreement or some sort of way of using iOS, Apple, through the face recognition and thumbprint, fingerprint ID, being able to bring people aboard, having a social media layer to that, and then also being able to give some people something back. And of course, that could be anything. That could be a cryptocurrency. That could be an ability to have some sort of a credit card, anything. There could be a number of things that they use. But I believe it's going to be something that's going to be a relationship with somebody like Apple, and I think it is Apple, and it's going to be something that's going to make the internet or the blockchain incredibly easy to use. It's going to have a social layer to it, and it's also going to be something of value, give somebody back something that people can get something back from. I think this is going to be where we go, and I think that's going to create mainstream users, gain users, get more and more users, because without users, who cares about scalability? I mean, even this fastest blockchain in the world, but if you got a couple thousand users, it doesn't really matter because you don't have enough activity to even scale, need much scaling. And that's what's gone on with Ethereum and Bitcoin. They don't scale very well. Well, they don't scale very well because they don't really have that many users. So who really cares? So EOS has got to be able to utilize the scalability by be able to bring in a lot more users. And that's what this announcement's going to be. Think about the problems, think about the solutions, and you'll find the answer to what the announcement will be. And it's going to have something to do with bringing a lot of users aboard. So in 31 days, we're going to hear an announcement that potentially could bring millions and millions and millions and millions of people into the EOS environment, into the EOS space. And that could be huge. You don't have to know who they're doing it with or what they're building. You just need to know that there's going to be a lot of people climb aboard here in the next 30 days, or actually after the next 30 days. There's going to be a lot more users. I guarantee you that. The one thing I will guarantee you is that EOS will grow in an extraordinary fashion after this announcement, because the announcement's going to have something to do with being able to onboard a lot of people very quickly. And of course, I think one of the greatest interfaces in the world is Apple, and I think one of the greatest marketing companies in the world is Apple. Anybody that's remotely involved with tech has got to love Apple. Apple to me is like, I mean, I've read the Apple story 100 times. I have probably my best investment in my life has been my Apple iMac. I love my Apple iMac. I wouldn't give it away for anything. My wife still uses a PC and I just don't understand it. I love the iPhone, but I think the Android's equally as good, but the iMac is heads and shoulders above the PC. So the Apple world, people are so fond of Apple. I know Dan is fond of Apple. We all love Apple. It's a great product. And I love Google too. I mean, a lot of people say negative things about Google, but I love Google. How can you not love Google? Google gives you so many free things. I mean, I'm doing a YouTube channel by Google right now. I mean, I'm being able to upload a video to the Google server. They're hosting it. They're paying for it. And yeah, they pay me a little bit for this content, but I mean, it's all free. And the extraordinary thing about it, Google, is the ability to use Gmail. And I love Gmail. I mean, sometimes people will say something like, why don't you have an email with like Kent at EOS San Diego or Kent at challengedapp.com? Because I like Gmail. And I mix my emails, my personal emails with my business emails, because everything in my life is combined anyway. So when I really need to find something, and maybe it's 5-10 years old, I can just go back through my Gmail and find it. And I don't pay for any of that storage. I don't pay for a bit of that storage for all those, you know, past 10 or 15 years worth of emails and all that history that I can pull up in an instant. So this is the kind of thing that needs to happen with EOS. They needs to be able to give away great products for free, or absolutely for free, and then be able to give something back in return, and you're going to get more users than you'll ever know what to do with. And that's what I think is going on with EOS. We're going to have more users than we know what to do with. And once you have these users, then you become mainstream and the thing goes viral and everything takes off. And EOS then becomes $100 a token very easily, and probably beyond. So anyway, look for that to happen. Look for a lot of users to be on board here very soon. I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much.